this is a really important initiative. It started with our prior president, Dr. Ron De Pino, and is now maintained at MD Anderson. And it started a number of years ago. I think we're now on our 6th, 7th year. I don't remember top of my head, but it's a really important idea. And basically, the concept that Dr. De Pino had originally was, I'm translating, I'm not sure if this is what they thought, but I think places like MD Anderson or other big institutions should invest part of what I call their budget, I guess, that really could foster internal research that may be difficult to fund through, NIH or typical foundations. So the idea was to basically focus on these kind of projects that were here in-house, maybe low-hanging fruits that we really, if we got extra support from the institution, could really deliver. And when this initiative came out, it was actually kind of like an RFA, like any other proposal. There was an internal, and it's very competitive program. I can tell you that putting this annual moonshot is actually hard. We put together this MDS AML project. I had the opportunity to lead it, and I've been the leader ever since. And it's been really a fantastic opportunity where really we get support to do projects that otherwise I think will be difficult to fund, and they really help us significantly. So right now, this project has evolved over the years, but the project in this last version has 4 or 5 projects. So let's see if I remember top of my head. There's one project looking at clonal hematopoiesis and emergence of myeloid disorders. This is with Dr. Takahashi. It's very successful. The second project that is very important to me, because it's the MDS project, is led by Dr. Simona Cola. And she just published a Nature Medicine paper with this data where she really has identified kind of like the stem cell hierarchy in patients with MDS and identify actually vulnerabilities that may predict who may or may not respond, for instance, to BCL2 inhibition, although that was actually total serendipity. We were not really trying to do that, but she has analyzed almost 400 MDS samples at the stem cell level, and we really have a very detailed map of how hematopoiesis is distorted on those patients. And now this is helping us basically decide what will be the next line of therapy for patients. Then with Dr. Resbani, Dr. Espal, there is a project on a new generation of NK CAR T cells, focusing in CD70, but it's a platform that we could use for multiple other epitopes, covering both MDS and AML. And finally, there is a very interesting project by Dr. Michael Andrieff and Isa Gayas here at MD Anderson, looking at minimal residual disease, but from a totally different angle, that are these cells that are kind of like the true residual cells that cause relapse, particularly looking at patients at high risk of relapse with P53 mutated disease. One thing that makes me, so these are like 4, 5 different projects that target from the early phases of the disease, like with Dr. Takahashi, looking at MDS stem cells with Dr. Kola, new therapeutics with these NK CARs, Dr. Andrieff looking at residual disease. One thing, though, that makes me really proud of this project is that majority of the funding and the leaders of actually the projects, even if I'm the coordinator of the full Moonshot MDS AML, actually the leaders of each program that get the funding are actually what you would consider junior to mid-level career investigators. So not only this is a phenomenal tool for us to do research that will be difficult to fund otherwise, it's also helping significantly the career of emerging faculty members that I think they're going to be the leaders in the field in the years to come. So mentoring them through this process of putting this project together, guiding them through this research is something that I'm very, very proud. So I think this is an incredible initiative, and I would think that a lot of institutions should look into this and perhaps try to mirror it. I mean, you should not expect with external sources to fund your projects. I mean, and then put together resources that you have internally, because there's a lot of crosstalk between these different projects and platforms that go around this moonshot that really help these projects move forward.